Opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.
This is Express Yourself with the Professor. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express Yourself live on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Good afternoon, Bahamas. This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. This is a great day to be in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and sometimes I ask myself, being a Christian nation, we always had the Holy Bible. Before I came on the scene, all the way back to 1729 and perhaps even before, this is one nation that has always had the Holy Bible, the King James Version of the Holy Bible. Many nations haven't gotten it because it was not translated into their language. We happen to be under the British. The King James translation of 1611 is still with us today. So we don't have any excuse for not knowing the Word of God. We have no excuse for telling lies, because we seem to have some people in our midst who thrive on telling lies. Be very careful in this election, Bahamians. Watch the tongue of every single person who comes to you asking for your vote. Be very, very careful with that. We need to be honest. We need to be straightforward. Do not tell the man you're going to vote for him and you know you're not going to. You can discuss issues with the particular personality, but don't lie to the man and make him believe you're going to vote for him, and you know within your heart and in your mind the answer is no. And if you're undecided, then you tell the man you're undecided. That's the way it should be. Let's be honest and upfront, and the candidates should do the same thing. I can be testing out a lot of them. We ought to know what they have to say. You ought to hear what they have to say. And then you can make a determination as to what you want to do. Those persons who will be on the tickets. And if you're not sure, there's nothing that prevents a constituency from choosing one of its own. This is where the constituents collectively, thousands of constituents, you have in some constituencies 5,000, 6,000, 4,500, and so on. Persons who are eligible to cast ballots in the elections coming up. Nothing stops them from organizing themselves. I've said this to you repeatedly. Organizing yourselves for positive action to help build your community, your constituency. You see the problems, you see the conditions of these constituencies, and they're not in the best of shape, Bahamians. What are you prepared to do about those constituencies? What are you prepared to do about the problems in that particular constituency? You may like a particular candidate, that's fine, but is the candidate suitable? We need to look at solving problems. You know how many people have lived and died from 59 years ago, I think, 1967? That's 59 years ago, right? And what has happened since? People had high hopes. They were dancing on January the 10th, 1967. They danced on July the 10th, 1973. But what I notice is that everything was short-lived. God says, when the righteous in authority, the people rejoice. It's a constant rejoicing straight on through until Christ comes back. We haven't had that yet, Bahamians. We haven't experienced that. See, dancing 1 or 2 hours and feeling good, and you got some chicken, you got some rum, you got some turkey, hearing nice music and things like that, that's temporary. Your rejoicing should be permanent and lasting. You see changes in your lives. You see problems being solved. You see mothers and fathers taking care of their children. You see mothers and fathers earning more than enough money because they need money to save, you know. to help their children to have a better way of life. Mothers and fathers planning for the future instead of having to keep scrapping every day, scrapping for a plate of food. That's not nice. Not in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas in 2026. That's what we have come to. And then the crime wave is a serious issue, although some people tell you crime is down. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But if you have people being killed, it's still killing people in Grand Bahama. They must be the near crime is down. They're still killing people in the province. They must be the near crime supposed to be down. So we've had some people who have been murdered, and families are mourning the loss of their loved ones. And I send my condolences out to them. But wouldn't it be better if we could keep them alive? Because these are young people dying, you know. Ain't none of them reach 100 yet. You know what the Bible says about old age? Let me just enlighten you, Bahamians. You look at some of us and think, oh, he is an old man. He may be 75. 75 is not old, Bahamians. 85 is not old, Bahamians. 95 is not old. Abraham had a son when he was 100 years old. You think that can't happen today? With God, all things are possible, but we have become a hardened, stiff-necked people. So God can't wait with you when you're like that. You got to repent of that foolishness. Living to a good old age, according to Scripture. You start at 175. God told Abraham, you will live to a good old age. His son Isaac lived to 180. That's a good old age. Anything less than 175, you're still young. Young people dying. You're talking about old. Because a man is 70, he's old. You get that from? God intended men and women to live at least 1,000 years. You look at Adam, 930 years. Noah, 950 years. And the thing is, they were to move from this physical life into spirit life. That was God's intention. But because sin got in the way and the devil got in the way, things had to be changed. And some foolishness occurred. And God still offers you and me eternal life today, not tomorrow, not next week. We can have it today. So why you can't live until Christ comes back? Why we have to be killing up one another over a plate of food or a couple of dollars? What's the point? Or you want to keep sweethearty? Scripture talks about 7 women on 1 man. Yeah, but I tell you, Bahamians, we're losing so many men, we're going to get to that point where you got 7 women, maybe 14 women going after 1 man. Man shortage in the country. That's a serious thing, you know. To have 7 women or more than 7 women hanging on to 1 man. Then the women start cannibalizing themselves. That's the way of the devil. You people can't see that. You can't see the way how our country is going, that we're losing too many males. We've been doing this for a long time, Bahamians. The fellow went down in the excavator, say digging on a cliff or something, and bing, drop in that deep hole. And all that stuff came down on him. They couldn't even find him. So there was something that was ticking that gave an indication where the excavator was and where he was. And he was dead when they got a hold of him. There were no emergency things put in place to protect that man's life. That's another young man gone. I don't like that, Bahamians. When I see these young people disappearing like that, I don't feel good about that. Now, National Insurance can't collect nothing from him. See that? Like I was buying National Insurance. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. And they were giving me some advice for young people like myself. I say, Professor, this is what you have to pay in National Insurance. I say, okay, I got no problem with that. And what the lady told me, I say that's very reasonable. So, baby, you got to pay your national insurance, okay? I got to pay mine too, because we got to keep the fund going. I want my check until Christ come back. So they have to keep giving me my check every single month until Christ returns. And Christ will say, you'll do away with national insurance. You don't need that no more. I can give you eternal life, make you spirit. That's it. Case closed. I have my special guest here, Valentino Brown. Brother Brown, welcome to Global Radio 99.5 FM. You know our topic. We talk about crime and you come.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
how things are on the ground. And Bahamians, this is very important. There is a man who works on the ground with the average citizens of this country. That's how you know people, you know. People are known by what they do, not them other fellows who just talk things and do nothing. People were telling me about basketball program that I did, even just up to before I came to the studio.
Yes, sir.
They were talking about that, and these fellas got grandchildren now.
Yes, sir.
Some of them even got great-grand.
Yes.
And I told them I got to talk to my people again about recreating that. I say I still got it in my psyche, you know.
Yes, sir.
They ain't going nowhere. But you need competent, reliable, responsible people to get it done. And the fellow just told me, say, Professor, you need to look at raising that up again. And I tell him I got to talk with my people and see what they tell me. Brother Brown, welcome to Global Radio 99.5.
Like I say, it's always a pleasure to be on Global 99.5 FM. I always come to lend my assistance to you. You were one of the first community leaders around these areas, and so you did a lot of good. Even I get to recognize the goodness you did that transcend to the generation of the country. So anytime you call me and I can assist on having a conversation that's going to be good, that is going to be beneficial to the country from experience and etc. And to make some points to show you what direction we need to be headed in order to make this country a better place. It's always a pleasure to be on Global, sir.
Well, thank you very much. And Bahamians, we are always wanting to make the country a better place because a lot of things you see happening now don't have to happen. We just need to change our behavioral patterns. We have to look at things differently. We must learn to tolerate people with different viewpoints, different opinions, different ideas. In fact, the Constitution says people can impart ideas and opinions without interference. Do you know that?
Yes, sir.
They ain't got to be constitutionally sound, you know.
Yes.
I just be listening, of course, and I say, no, that ain't constitutionally sound. But the Constitution say the man could say it.
Yes, sir.
So what you want me to do? Tell him he can't say it?
Yes, sir.
Freedom to impart ideas and opinions without interference, that is entrenched in your Constitution, and a lot of you don't even use it. That's only part of it, you know. There's still plenty more that you could use. I don't know, you all get like this. It says freedom, the right to impart ideas, one, and opinions without interference with your correspondence. You send in one letter, or you send it by email, you send it by all these different means we have today. That's your correspondence. And the Constitution says without interference. Do you understand how serious that is?
Yes.
And we don't use it. I just get upset about that. You're talking about, I got to watch what that one say. What you mean watch what? If that particular personality disagrees, that's their right. That's their way. But not to stop you to say you can't impart your ideas and your opinions. Now, if you try to impart something that is not constitutionally sound and labeling it constitutionally sound, now that's a different kettle of fish. I can stop you on that one.
I would agree on that.
Okay? But people have ideas and opinions. If they don't express them, if they don't write them, if they don't say them, if they don't make it known, you will not know. We got some people, young people like me too. Young people like myself got creative ideas. So all of us are young people. Ain't none of us old. You got to start at 175 if you're talking about being old. Stop talking foolishness.
I don't blame you, sir.
All these young people around here.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Say that one too old. Give me a break. You say God is too old too? You want to put him out too? You want to cast him out and say, God, you're too old. Christ, you're too old. You all get like this. The man who gives you every breath of air that you breathe. Now, how you going to diss that? You can't do that, Bahamians. The elders in your community are responsible for a lot of things that some of you may not fully understand and know. Isaac didn't take over from his father until his father had died at 175. He had to wait 75 years before he took over. Abraham had all them servants in there, Eliezer and all of them, handling things. Isaac couldn't say nothing about that because his father was still in charge. But the man told him when he went to look for a wife for Isaac, my master turned everything over to this boy, Isaac. That's what the man says. It's in the record. That was Abraham's will. Turn it up. Now, he took care of them other children he had. Now, some of y'all got plenty of children. And I think we got the law has changed a bit now where these assets got to be divided, what y'all call outside children. The Bible says Abraham gave them gifts and sent them away from his son Isaac. He straightened them out while he yet lived. And say, y'all go into the East Country. Away from, separated them. Now, you fathers who got all these children all over the place, you ain't do that. You need to follow Abraham's example. You could live long just like Abraham. But the point is, you do not do your business properly. Okay? And then he had concubine. The Bible says he had concubine. God kind of smile on that, you know. But here was a man who took care of his family, had hundreds and hundreds of servants, maybe thousands, had plenty of sheep, plenty of goat, plenty of cattle, very rich in silver, very rich in cattle, very rich in gold. Boy, he had plenty of gold, you know. This was no poor man, but he had to take care of all these people. He had to pay national insurance for all of them, take care of them when they got sick, and make sure they were well taken care of. But that's how it was. So you who have all these children all over the place and say you're preaching in church, bring them children to church. And let the people see, these are my sons, these are my daughters. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Anyhow, go ahead, Brother Brown.
No, I mean, Mr. Thompson, you know, you knock so much points, you know, from the show start. I don't know where to start from, you know. You knock so many points, you
Yes,
know.
sir.
You know, but let me knock this point.
Okay.
I can try my best to knock this point. I'd just like to say to the general public, you know, Mr. Thompson made a very good point. He talked about his Isaac, right?
Yes, Isaac, yeah.
You talk about his inheritance, what he gave to his child.
Yes.
And then those who he sent off, he gave them gift.
Yeah, he gave
That
them
means he gave
gift.
them land, he gave them property.
Oh, yeah. He fixed them up good.
See, the thing is, whether you're a sweetheart or not, right? If you decide to do that, you're supposed to make sure that child is great, you know, regardless
yes.
if you're mad or what, because you still bring the child in the world. It's the fault of you, and it happened. You want to keep it away from your wife. This is the major problem we face in the country right now with outside children right now, because some married man, some married woman don't want the father or the family to know that they have an outside child.
Right.
What that does is cause resentment, you know,
Yes,
and
it
that have
does.
happened around our country, you know, and we have to learn to look at that, you know, if we have this responsibility. Sex is not something to go to a nightclub and to say, you know, you're going to do it because you're in a nightclub and you see that someone who's lovely and beautiful. Because, like I said, that person could be in a relationship, that person could have a child, he or she could have a child, married, etc., etc. And then you go for a fling and you have this child outside of marriage. What that creates is resentment, and that child, you know, looking for a father, looking for a mother, is not in a stable environment. What that creates is what their environment is. They see that they're not getting walked to school on a timely basis.
Yes.
They're not seeing their father on a timely basis. They wonder what is happening. They see this father probably once a year. Sometimes the father funds the child because, like I say, he don't really want to, you know, as you know,
Yes.
until it's in boycott and the off relationship,
Right.
you know, and the child grows a little bit like that. He or she, the mother has to struggle, you know, because of circumstances. Then you have this case. In my case, and in many other cases in the country, when we look at the hostels, we look at social service,
Yes.
we look at all these cases. If you look at Princess Margaret Hospital, we have a lot of kids born today that are still in the hospital today who are being unclaimed in the
Okay.
Princess Margaret Hospital as we speak
Unclaimed,
right
yes.
now. The government is taking care of them. Either their mother or father has died. Either some of them are going through, how I should say, many of them have
Health
diseases,
issues?
health issues.
Yes.
We
Okay.
can't discriminate. and so they are left unwanted in the country.
Yes.
In my case, I come from a family of my grandmother. She was not married, but she was a strong, strong woman, Levius Brown. She took me from my mom because my mom was a responsible mom,
Yes.
right? My mom passed away. My mom was Laurie Brennan. She was rough in the community. She didn't listen to nothing what my grandmother told her.
Wow.
First of all, my grandmother was telling her, look here, I have 7, 8 children, right? And the man I was with, he had me, he had you guys, and he had other women. So I had to leave him and take you guys by myself. Don't make the same mistake as me.
As me, yeah.
Right? I'm the oldest, I'm the first and oldest grandchild.
Right.
So, with all that, my mom didn't say nothing like that because outside the house and the streets is two completely different things.
Right.
So what this creates, first of all, your head hard, you ain't listening.
No, you're not listening.
Right? My grandmother saying, prepare yourself, go to school, probably get in government, go in some type of business. I know stuff. I'm saying this like it's so easy. It's not easy living in a community. So I'm just letting you know it's tough. So even though she's saying this to my mom, I know the conditions that happen in our communities and how it affects us because I've gone through it myself. So it's very hard for people to really say, be focused, be focused, be focused, be focused, and make the right decision, make the right choices.
Right.
Even though people who have the right frame of mind, like you telling the kids and putting them in programs to stay on the straight and narrow, is very difficult because when these kids go home, they're going to
exposed to all kind of things,
rowing, cursing, all kind of stuff. They can't focus. Electricity off. The bathroom got to go water. You got to go to the pump for water. So all these things going through. So it was a little different for me. I had an auntie and uncle who were just like my grandmother, but my grandmother took care of all of them.
Yes.
And in my case, like I explained, my mom ended up going out there, have a relationship, never planned for me. Okay. That means she was on drugs, she was partying. Not to say this to take anything away from her, because this decision of many other mothers was making at the same time as well as many other fathers. No exception. So no planning. I met up with my father, my mom, my grandmother told this a story is told to me. Yes. My grandmother told me she told my mother, say, listen, if the man have a plan for business or anything like that, you should wait and see if you can make the right choices.
Right.
So she decided that she know it all. She back talking my grandmother cursing out and all these stuff. So my grandmother wash her hand off her. Say, okay, since you been here longer than me, you can't be under the same roof. I say I built this. 2 women can't be under this. So you need to get your little hip out here and go on the more. Right. Meanwhile, she got pregnant with me.
Right.
She got pregnant with me. Mothers still love their children regardless of how the situation is. Don't care how disrespectful the child is. The mothers still love their child regardless.
Yeah.
She got pregnant. She had me. They told me, said like when I was 6, 7 months, at least 4 or 5 months, my father got charged with murder. Okay. And him getting charged for murder, he went to prison in the time frame before I was even born. So as soon as I was born, Mr. Thompson, my father was in prison serving Queen's pleasure means life imprisonment.
Right.
So with that in mind, my mom not making the decision that she's supposed to make, right? My grandmother had to take me away from my mother because she was irresponsible. She could not take care of a child because my grandmother would come looking for her daughter because I'm the oldest grandchild.
Right.
And like they say, grandmothers love grandchildren more than their own children. So when she came to those, she saw us in a particular way being treated. So she took me away from my mom and told her never to set foot in her yard ever again and to never, ever come there for me ever in her life. She was barred from coming out in our yard because she was disrespectful. My grandmother said, my grandchild is not going to suffer because of your, how I should say, you aren't wanting, you aren't caring, and you're irresponsible as a mother to even have a child. So many people having children out there don't plan for it. You born these children in this world to suffer, and these children will come out to be beasts. It's a fault of the parents making bad decisions. It's the fault of our government and churches not educating our next generation of citizens on how to be parents, how to be responsible, and how to make the right decision. And that sex is dangerous, and sex should only be having unless you plan to have a future.
But Brother Brown, you said a whole lot in that. I'm going to expound on that when we get back. because Bahamians, we have some real social problems in this country from one generation to the next, like a generational curse. We have to break it, Bahamians, because there's too much suffering, too much pain, too much agony. This is Professor Sidney McArthur Walter Thompson, my special guest, Brother Valentino Brown. He is one who works in the community. He works with the local people. He understands what is happening on the ground. And I'm going to invite many of you out there who have all of this institutional knowledge and understanding to come forth and help your country. We need it now, Bahamians. Don't wait 1 second more. You start calling today and say, Professor, here is what I can contribute. Here is what I can do. You call the radio station, leave your name and number right here. And of course, we'll go from there. This is Professor Sidney McArthur Walter Thompson. The lines are open 326-0272, 813-0271. We'll be back after the break.
Express yourself live. We'll return right after this.
This is Lenny Green from the Quiet Storm, inviting you to join me tonight starting at 7 p.m. as I serve you that ear candy that you love, baby. I'm dropping all your favorite slow jams like this.
The sunlight's gone, but the moon's so bright. Oh, I'm about to cruise down my Holland Drive.
To even this.
You sure love.
So lock in with me. It's the Quiet Storm, baby. The Bahamas' #1 for R&B. It's Global 99.5 FM.
Do you have video games and consoles for sale? What about lawn and garden tools, silver or gold? At Cash Whiz, they'll give you top dollar for them right now. Absolutely nobody puts money in your pockets quicker. So why be broke? If you need money right now, check out Cash Whiz downtown Bay Street and get cash on the spot. You can also save 70% on in-store purchases, tools, electronics, watches, and jewelry. All at unbelievable prices. Cash Whiz, telephone 322-2456. Get money in your pockets now.
Stay current, stay compliant with NIB. For a limited time only, registered employers and self-employed persons can receive up to 75% off accumulated interest on their contribution arrears through NIB's Interest Arrears Waiver Program, available now until March 31st, 2026. If your business is behind, visit your nearest NIB office or contact your inspector today. NIB, supporting businesses, securing the fund. Act now, comply today, grow tomorrow.
Insurance is too expensive. I'm young and I don't need it. All insurances are the same. Let's bust these 3 common insurance myths. First, no, insurance doesn't have to break the bank. We offer plans that fit your budget. Second, accidents don't care how old you are. An accident can happen to anyone. Third, all policies are not equal. The wrong one can leave you high and dry when you need help the most. At Harvest Insurance, we give you real info, real options, and real peace of mind. Call us at 326-80845 or visit us at harvestinsurancebrokers.com and get the facts before you make a decision.
Whether you're shopping for Mother's Day, Father's Day, back to school, or any occasion for that matter, you are sure to find exactly what you're looking for at the Brass and Leather Shops. Great products like handbags, wallets, backpacks, luggage, belts, shoes, and more are awaiting you. Brand names at the best quality and reasonable prices. Land, Rioni, Kipling, Guest, Travel Light, Herschel, and more. Shop any of our locations. Downtown Charlotte Street, Mall at Marathon, and also at the Luggage Store at Palmdale. Be sure to shop Brass and Leather Shops. You'll be glad you
The
did.
Perfume Bar has been sipping on designer fragrances, skincare, and cosmetics for over 40 years. We house a wide selection of designer brands such as Chanel, Dior, Gucci, Versace, and so much more. For your shopping convenience, visit any of our locations: Bay Street, Palmdale, Marathon Mall, and our newest location out west in the Old Fort Town Center. Come on in and spray a little happiness only at the Perfume Bar.
Whilst Bahamian shoppers know when times are hard and things are tough, it's more sensible and convenient to shop at Y-Care's Fashion Center. Y-Care's has slashed prices on brand name clothing and shoes by up to 50%, including academics, Clarks, Polo, and hundreds of jeans and dicky pants. and as much as 70% on selected items. Choose from a large selection of bed, sheet, rugs, and towels, all at affordable prices. YKS on 3 locations to serve you: Bahama Avenue, Prince Charles, and East Street South near the Sir Charles Hotel. YKS, where you can afford to look good.
From South Beach to Bay Street.
I'm pleased, I really dig your company.
It's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. Let me just say this, because sometimes people get things all mixed up and they get misunderstanding because they don't understand constitutional authority, and that people have a right to make certain decisions which are constitutionally sound. You may not agree with the decision that they may make, and you have to live with that, Bahamians. People will tell you things that you don't like. You have to live with that. Freedom to impart ideas and opinions. This Constitution say it have to be legally sound, or lawfully sound, or constitutionally sound. There's a lot of things what I hear not constitutionally sound. If I'd eliminate them, you might get 1% or less. It's just that simple. But the Constitution says freedom to impart ideas and opinions without interference. And without interference with your correspondence. That's in the law. That's the supreme law, and no policy of anybody could override that. But then organizations have a right to make certain decisions. You may not necessarily agree with those decisions, but they have a constitutional right to make certain decisions in their best interest. We have to live with that. See, the Constitution is designed to provide freedoms, rights, privileges for everyone in the country, even for the illegal alien. Do you know that?
Yes, they protect.
That illegal alien is protected under the Constitution. It says any person in the confines of the Commonwealth realm. And I first read that, I say, wow.
That's maritime law international.
This is what the Constitution says. Yes. Any person. It didn't say any citizen.
Yes.
Now, there's some things citizens have, but them other fellas don't have. So you got to be careful with that. Certain rights that are applied only to citizens of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Not any person. See, then it shifts, because there are some things that are designed for citizens
and aliens.
And aliens, yes. So one has to understand that. That is very, very important as we move ahead. So Bahamians is very important. Do we have a caller, Mr. Producer? Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, good afternoon, Professor.
Hey, what's
and good afternoon to guests. Good afternoon, Bahamas. Professor, I have a friend who want to know if that law would they pass with all this, the step children, the same with the regular children in the marriage. Is that really law, or that just?
Well, from what I understand, I think Lady Janet Boswick, she was involved with that. Yes, they wanted to find a better way to deal with what are called outside children. So they would be included with the will of the particular personality. And that's his seed. See, Abraham had sense.
Yes.
He gave gifts to his sons and sent them away from Isaac. He had plenty to give them something. So I don't know why these people want to disown their own seed. You can't do that.
That's pure hatred. The Bible speaks highly against that.
Yeah, highly against that. Yeah, definitely.
You had pleasure for it.
So, caller, that is, as far as I understand, that is the law. The statute.
That's the law.
Yeah, that's the law. Yeah.
Oh, that's going against Bible principle, but wait,
hold on.
I can hang up a letter.
No, wait, hold on.
I can hang up a letter.
No,
listen.
No, hold on, caller. What goes against Bible principle?
Oh, the marriage thing is God put when you married, them children them there, but them said he sent off. They got. I wonder what we get, because them said when he sent thinking them off. They instead of people who got the earl, I wonder what we get. I always wonder that,
Yeah.
We must have got angel on the side.
But listen, he sent them to the East Country, and them fellas, East Man, they got plenty of oil up there.
Yeah. That's a blessing.
Every time I read my Bible, I said these people got oil in my heart.
Yes.
What we got?
What we got?
Hey, we don't know we got an angel on the side.
Boy.
But listen, we all, before the joke aside, yeah, that's a little off Bible scripture. You can't go with God say. You can't change God's law.
you can't
Because
change
God
God's
wants the
law.
marriage to be solid.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
he
it
does.
could be as it may. I can let her turn the radio on and let you say so she can understand it.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Well, thank you very much for your contribution.
Mm.
See, the thing is that we have these examples in scripture written for us. And Abraham's wife, Sarah, knew that Abraham had outside children. She died 127. All right? That was way before Abraham passed. And of course, Isaac was a young boy around that time. Sarah died not even knowing that Abraham almost had to sacrifice Isaac, his son. She don't know nothing about that. But when she come up in the first resurrection, she can learn that for the first time. Okay? She knew that Abraham had outside children. So I don't know why these men or women want to hide from their spouse and saying they don't have outside children. Let them know, these are my sons, these are my daughters. And bring them into the family. They are part of the family. The wife will get used to it. Say, well, these are some other children. Okay? And let me say a little about my own upbringing, because I always was shielded. See, a lot of things would happen out there. I always tell Brother Brown, I don't know nothing about them kind of things.
Yeah, no, there's a different way.
My mother and father protected, 9 of us and then 3 grandchildren. My mother loved boys. She had 6 boys of her own and 3 grandboys in the house. That's a total of 12.
For one Mr. Thompson.
Right, one Mr. Thompson.
One Mr. Thompson.
That's right.
No outside.
No outside. Even though someone tried to tell me something. But Brother Brown, but ain't no man, no woman came around that house. We had telephone.
Long as she was growing up.
We had telephone from that time.
Yes, sir.
We were children.
And you never see it?
Never see it.
Okay.
With my mother or my father.
Okay.
And they were together for almost 50 years.
That's real love. That's real love and dedication right there.
So my mother and father were a shield and a blessing to all 12 of us.
Awesome.
And a lot of things, what other people experience out there, I don't know nothing about it. So when I say I don't know nothing about it, I never experienced it. I wish they were still living today. I was comfortable being with mommy and daddy.
There's a prime example what the young citizens today could see.
Yes.
When they have a family structure.
Yes, it would.
Yes.
You see? And they were both professional people. My mother was a professional nurse.
Yes,
my
sir.
father, a professional engineer.
Wow.
And they did well with us and gave us an example to follow. And the thing is that when I look at the children today and see all this division and confusion, I say, well, we need parents to cover the children.
Well, the parents there experience nothing. They don't experience anything else. They don't experience nothing. They have no skills.
No skills whatsoever. And the children are suffering. And that is a thing that's something that bothers me a lot, because these boys want to see daddy. I always see daddy every day of my life. From the day I was born, there he was. And when he passed, I was right there.
These boys nowadays, they don't want to see their daddy at all.
They don't see. But 2 boys came by my house. I thought one was a girl. I had to apologize to him because I thought I misunderstood.
Yeah.
116, 114. So I said, where daddy is. I said, we don't see him. I said, what you mean you don't see him? We don't live with him. So what you mean you don't live with him? We live with mommy.
Now, look at those 2. It's not just those 2. Just the 2 what you see with your own eyes, but just imagine that could be anywhere from 70,000 young guys.
Exactly.
With that same problem.
Yeah.
What you're talking about.
What you're talking about,
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
And that is a sad state of affairs. And the boys need to have that strong male leadership. Let me tell you something. In my lifetime, I've always had the benefit of strong male leadership in the church, in the school, in the community. The police officer, the shopkeeper, they were headmasters. They didn't call them principal in those days. Headmasters, okay? And people, inspectors and so on. These were all males. There were women there too now, but the women played in the background. They assisted the men. But the men were the leaders. Every time you look around, you went to Sunday school, there was a man teaching.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Come on.
Not
Well, where are the males today? Where they gone?
And you made a good valid point when you spoke earlier, Mr. Thompson, when you said that so many of our young men out there are dying and making the wrong decision. Let's add the young ladies as well. They're making the same decision because they are the mothers of these young guys. Remember that now?
Yes.
Okay. Listen now. What you talk about, how you talk about your mom and your father stick together for over 50-something years.
Yes.
And you had, from you leave school, you had different principals, you had teachers, you had police officers. So everywhere you walk, whether you go to school, where you come from school, or after school, or home, you had a discipline across the board to make sure you go on the straight and narrow. To dissuade you from thinking about doing anything that is bad in their concept. Right?
True. That's correct.
Today, our country has diminished with the leadership and that skill to push the young men in that right direction. The fathers nowadays are not even relevant in the young guys' life right now.
Yes.
Honestly speaking, my daddy was calling me on the phone just now. There's no disrespect there. Like I see, as a person, as a real person, you know.
Yes.
My daddy never did nothing for me. I understand he went to prison for all those years and stuff like that.
Right.
He came out of prison. Like I said, he made a bad decision. He's 70-something, right? I'm of age. My aunt and my uncle took care of me, and then after that, my grandmother, and I took care of myself for the rest of the years and tried to develop myself after I saw what I was doing wrong in my life.
Yes.
He has never been no figure in my life whatsoever. I've never seen a daddy in my life. I've never seen a mommy in my life. Listen to this now. From the day I was born, I can never imagine my eyes seeing a mother holding me or a daddy holding me. The only thing I could see is my auntie and my uncle and my grandmother holding me. You understand where I come from, people? So I never had a mother's love. I never had a father's love. And many people out there say, well, you know, I come from a single parent home and that shouldn't make you do this and that. Y'all don't understand.
They don't understand.
Y'all don't understand how important it is for you to have those structure, that support system.
That support.
Why didn't Christ had Mary and Joseph and his family? You think God was going to put his son on this earth, but it's hell on this earth?
You better believe it.
Without the guidance, and now in this time we have children born into this world without that guidance. What do you think is going to happen to us, Mr. Thompson? So eventually the young guys will make bad decisions if there's no Mr. Thompson out there to tell them and do what the right decision, who can sing and who love them.
Yes.
The females out there will make bad decisions like what we're seeing on the news where girls are shooting guns, girls are setting up their boyfriend, girls are driving cars with their boyfriend doing drive-by shooting and caught up and murder and armed robbery and setups in the country. They are more voice than the males today.
But you have had these sitting in the car and the car get riddled up. The woman sitting right next to, the female sitting right next to the man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the man get killed. All kind of bullet wounds in him. Not one single shot went to the female. That has happened over and over and over again in this nation.
Yes.
And I know of a particular personality, I won't call the name of the particular personality, who went through that and is in his grave today. Okay, come on, man. What are we saying? And it's still happening now.
The single parent moms are becoming more like men because they're doing things that men supposed to do. They're taking on the responsibility and trying to raise male and female child at the early age. And still they're young. And still the mothers are young and still taking and they want to enjoy themselves. So listen, the only thing I want for this country, Mr. Thompson, I come on the radio shows and stuff like that because I live in the inner city community all my life and I see this every day. People come to me every day and I do the best I can as a citizen to try to bring a support system in the community and use their voice to encourage those that are the powers to be, whether the PLP, the African, the church, or whoever, to try and come back and invest in the country and see what our problem is. Mr. Thompson, it ruffled them.
Very rough.
Suicide is all-time high. Okay.
I'm glad you mentioned about the suicide thing, and I still can't wrap my head around the suicide thing, even though the doctor in Grand Bahama told me some things. And I keep hearing about the suicide, and I said, I look at my own family on both sides, 7 generations deep on both sides. I know these children we got, boy, they like eat.
Yes, sir.
I can tell you that. Ain't nothing suicidal in them.
Yes.
But where did the suicide thing come from? I am still, I can't understand it.
People are lonely. They have no support system. That's what it is, Mr. Thompson. When you have these kind of a mental illness.
Are these Bahamians committing suicide? Because we can't seem to get the nationalities of these people.
So right now, whoever live in the Barber Street, this crisis for all.
I'm not going to discount the stress level,
stress
because
is
I am beginning to feel some of the stress. So I know that's there.
Mr. Thompson, we get a lot of Haitian behemoths walking around the Chinese on the East Street, Blue Hill Road. So just, Mr. Thompson, I used to go and walk the streets every day. And every day I get taxed to pieces. Lucky thing I used to do a little something to keep me going. I have that in my pocket because I know people need it. You understand what I'm saying? Walking the streets for me is like Santa Claus. Anyone can tell you this. Anyone can tell you, I right up here, and anyone can tell you they see me roaming the streets every day. To the local nightclubs, to the local restaurants. I spend my time in the community because I like to communicate with the younger generation, see what's going on. So when I have this conversation, I can relate to what's happening in the country.
What's happening,
right? Mr. Thompson, it's rough out there.
Why did it tax you hard?
It's rough, Mr. Thompson. It's rough.
I agree. Yeah, you're right.
And not only that, Mr. Thompson, a lot of people have a lot of mental issues right now, mental health issues in the country right now. The streets are loaded with people who have mental health issues who look normal, but they ain't normal.
But they're not normal.
And on a daily basis, sir, there's a lot of people in this country who have a lot of mental health issues because, sir, that's what it is right now. They're stagnated. They don't know us. The country brags about the $3-4 million that is being invested in the country. We talk about 11.11 or 12 million visitors that come to our shore. We talk about the major investments happening in the country. That is all good. But when you have signs at the time, the Father tells you, Mr. Thompson, you all talk with God. You know, the Father tells you, He will show you the signs at the time.
Yes,
when you see babies born in the bushes and being abandoned, it's been happening a long time in our country, but it's rampant. High suicide, right? High murder rate, right? High health issues, diabetes, cancer, AIDS, all these stuff, all these ailments. We have cane toad, we have all these evasive species coming to our country right now. All these are the signs of the time to tell us if we don't get our act together, and if we don't start to help our brothers and sisters who are at the bottom from the top, stop this corruption from the bottom to the top, and let's correct the problem we face in our country, and let's do what we said our national anthem is all about, and give us this square deal, and give us opportunities in this country, so we are going in a tailspin because there are so many people that are hurting. Anyone who listens to the show right now could tell you if they walk in the streets or ride around, they go to any Chinese store, any food store, super value, how many people out there you see have mental issues in this country right now, and you can't even trust them because some are very violent, and if you and sometimes you give them $1, they mad.
They mad at you.
They ain't want $1.
They want no $1
because they think they want chicken snack.
Yes.
So they think you obligated to give them something. That's what our country coming to this day, Mr. Thompson.
Yeah. I've experienced that myself, and I sometimes have to walk and catch the bus, that kind of
with all the buildings, Mr. Thompson, with all the buildings being invested, all the airports, all the clinics. This is a plus to the government. I give a thumbs up to the government. But listen again, the Bahamas has different words.
What impact is it having on the people?
It's a slow impact. Slow, very slow.
Slower than the snail.
Slower than the snail. Well, we just got a report the other day. The lady who was a part of the health department of the hospital, she stated that this is the worst condition the hospital has been in 20 years.
22 years.
You know what that means?
Yes, you're right. You're right. Yes.
Because we have a growing, Mr. Thomas, we have a growing population that we have failed to identify. Our governments have failed to build a hospital from 20 years ago. This hospital up here with all those departments cannot sustain this country now with all these health issues. We import food that are poison. Now the kids are getting high diabetes. The kids who 5 and 4 who ain't had a proper diet have more sugar than their parents. The dialysis machine can't deal with the volume of people.
No,
we need hospital beds. So we overcrowded with people who done sex. So the hospital cannot sustain it. This is the only thing I'm going to say. We need all those Filipino doctors. We all need all them nurses from Cuba. Wherever the government has to go to get these people to come in right now, because we just had a strike, we need them in our country, Mr. Thompson. Because listen, I can tell you the truth. We understaff, and we need people who come with different passion in the country. Because I ain't gonna lie, Mr. Thompson. We could say all we want. We want this country just to be a Bahamian country. People from different nationality bring a profession of love and care, and we needed to take the pressure off our Bahamian doctors and nurses in the country to deal with the patients. And we need a healthcare plan that teaches our kids in the country about the proper usage of eating proper, healthy foods.
Yeah.
We have to tell them about the juice, the starch, the sugar, the Kentucky, the McDonald's, and you can eat on a special occasion, but these are the things you need to do to stop this country from becoming a diet. We are the top country in diabetics, sugar, cancer. We are in the top 10 in all these things, sir. I mean, only 21/7. You think that's right?
No, it isn't.
So
it can be.
So our doctors and nurses, sir, they are underpaid and they can strike like that. But when they strike like that, let's have an alternative. Let's have some Filipino nurses and doctors coming who are very caring for the Bahamian country, Bahamian citizen. We need the Cuban doctors and nurses to come in. They take the pressure off the nurses and doctors until we build new hospitals. All governments coming in now supposed to know that we had a population of 100,000+ people when Sir Lyndon Pinland was in power. You try and tell me 40 years, 25, 30 years later, so we don't have 4 hospitals around the country to deal with the volume of people in our country. That means none of them care about us, none of them plan for us. That's all it is, sir. Now the hospital is on the screen, and it cannot be sustained, sir. It cannot be sustained. Cannot.
Well, the Minister of Health said that.
It cannot.
If you say, God forbid, that we have another pandemic.
And we get all these rats running around, all these rats. Suppose when the rats spread disease, what happened then?
It is a problem.
Huh?
Bahamians, the lines are open 326-0272-813-0271. My special guest, Brother Valentino Brown. We're talking about crime. We're talking about health
all this
issues.
Is crime.
And it relates to criminal activity because people that are unstable. But I'm still fascinated over this suicide thing because I don't know. Maybe it's because of my upbringing. I just can't fathom. But I understand to a great degree now the pressure. Now, I am feeling pressure now. The Constitution tells me no man, woman, or child should ever have their life frustrated. And I'm going to tell you, I'm getting some intense frustration for certain agencies of the government.
Yes.
That is not good for me.
No.
Because the Constitution says I am not supposed to have any frustration by being deprived of certain things that I ought to have, and I am being deprived in this country today. And I could name them for you, but I'll not go into that right now. But the thing is, Bahamians, it is happening to me, and it's happening to a whole lot of you out there. But you sit quietly and you say nothing about it. But I can't be that way.
You see, they weren't calling. They won't call it because they know it's the truth. When you're speaking the truth, people will be quiet. It's the truth because they know we're talking the truth.
But then that's where they should add more to it. They let their voices be heard.
Yes.
Okay, you just can't keep being in the dark, Bahamians. If you stay in the dark, what's going to happen?
Watch this, Mr. Thompson. How many of us in the Bahamas has a mentally ill sibling in this country? Basically, just about every Bahamian.
Too many.
I have an uncle who stay on Market Street. That's my uncle right there on Lewis Street.
Okay.
All right, that's my uncle you see over there. We have him insurance. He don't need to be there, but that's just his mind. Some people you can't change.
Yes.
And then we need to create an environment for them.
We have to create an environment.
Farming, good for these people, farming and close to the beach and stuff like wildlife. So we have to create a sanctuary for people like that to take them off the streets and let them roam free with the proper care. They don't need to be locked up in this institute. We can have the institute, but they need a mile stretch where they could look at cows and sheep and fish. Their minds completely changed. We need a space. Mr. Thompson, we're in some serious trouble. A lot of people in this country have mental health issues in this country. Even our police officers, even our defense force officers, and we need to put a system in place, to combat what is going on in our country. The pressure is real in this country,
No, I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
With all the billions that's being invested.
The billions.
How many billions is coming in the inner city community to help deal with these issues?
Yes.
You're
quite right about that.
There's a lot of people crying. We talk about what a baby's born in the car.
Oh yeah.
That tells you the crisis. You know why they respond? You ain't gonna get charged for that, right?
No.
You know why they get charged for that? Listen to me. The people was living in the car. Y'all might not believe this.
Someone told me that.
They were living in the car. That's why they're ashamed. So they saw the authorities come in and they roll over and they left the baby in the car. But they were living in the car because they didn't have a roof over their head. And that's the real subject. That's the Bahamas we love. And that's not about the PLB now. This is about what's been going on for 52 years in the country, how we're being deprived. And this is what our country comes to, because a lot of people, we live in a different world. Bay Street is a different world. See Bay Street right there? That is a different world. See, millions and millions of dollars make down Bay Street. You know how much make right there, Rachel? The U.S. Embassy, Rachel. I live right there in Grand Stamp in the Bleach Park. You know how much money make down there? We probably in that community, everyone in that community probably work all together. I'd say $300,000.
Yeah.
And one person like Sabas, who's a multi-millionaire. He deserves what he get now. I'm just trying to show you.
Yeah.
He's a multi-millionaire. He weighed more than what the whole community of Grandstand weigh. That's individual because everyone poor.
Couple of constituencies.
Because it states, Mr. Thompson, that half of the 70% or 80% of the Bahamian people don't have $1,000 in the bank. So that means
that is deep.
So that means if we get 20 millionaires in this country, they are worth more than the whole entire inner city community of Nassau Providence. That's how serious it is.
The lines are open. Bahamian 326-0272, 813-0271. My special guest, Valentino Brown. He is a man on the ground. He knows what's going on, Bahamians. And I want to encourage as many of you out there who have something to contribute to call me, and we would like to get you in on the show, because it takes the collective will of a people to build a nation. Bahamians, you got to change this thing now. The scenario is not good. I'm not satisfied with it. Brother Brown is not satisfied with it. And many others are not satisfied with it. We have to do something about it. That's what is important. You make sure, call the show and let's participate. The lines are open, 326-0272, 813-0271. We'll be back after the break.
Express yourself live. We'll return right after this.
It's Donald Ware, host of Box to Row. We're coming to you live this Saturday from San Francisco on Radio Row at Super Bowl 60. We're going to have great conversations with players and celebrities. You know how we do on Box to Row. That's Box to Row live from Super Bowl 60 this Saturday, exclusively right here on your favorite station, Global 99.5 FM, your home for sports and number one for
Comfort Suites Paradise Island sale is here, starting at $125 per night, plus taxes and fees for single or double occupancy. Limited inventory is available and blackout dates apply. Advanced booking is required, and Comfort Suites is offering free food and beverage credit up to $50 based on length of stay and redeemable at Crusoe's Restaurant and Splash Pool Bar. VAT and gratuity is not included. All guests of Comfort Suites receives complimentary use of Atlantis, including Aquaventure Water Park, daily complimentary full American buffet breakfast, free Wi-Fi and free parking. Of course, kids 11 and under stay free in room with a parent and eats free at Crusoe's Restaurant with each paying adult. Go ahead, call 605-6300-363-3680 or WhatsApp 55-SUITE. That's 557-8483. Offer valid through February 28th. Comfort Suites Paradise Island, offering comforting days and sweet nights.
Cupid, let your arrow go straight to your loved one's heart with a Valentine's Day treat from Windermere Spa. As limited slots are available, book now for Cupid's Arrow at just $173. An enzyme facial, manicure, and whirlpool pedicure. Or at just $152, there's the Hugs and Kisses package, a 30-minute stress relief massage, gel manicure, and whirlpool pedicure. Or at just $345, both of you come and experience a soulmate soiree. A couple's aromatherapy massage, manicure, and whirlpool pedicure. Gift certificates are available. Or call Harbor Bay at 393-8788 or Caves Village at 327-6135 or 6. It's the exciting Valentine's Day special at Windermere Day Spa. Call
Stella Signature Restaurant and Suites, Soldier Road, just north of Prince Charles Drive, is a Bahamian family-owned business. Rooms are available 24 hours, so you can swing by at any time. And let me tell you about Pella's Signature Restaurant. We got that real Bahamian breakfast. Boiled fish, stewed fish, and Johnny cake. Just like Grammy, still dancing in the kitchen. We're serving up that elevated Pella's Signature flavor all day with lunch, dinner, and signature cocktail. So whether you're craving a morning plate, a late night taste, or you just want to get away, book it at Bella. Contact us at 356-3396 or visit our website, BellaSignatureSuites.net.
Nassau Motor Company knows that finding the right part for your car is important. That's why you can count on us to give you a quality AC Delco part, like maintenance-free batteries for quicker starts and pressure-tested water pumps for years of smooth operation. AC Delco parts are made to strict GM specifications and fit most cars and trucks in the Bahamas. Nassau Motor Company, AC Delco, and you, a winning combination.
Hey, look at my old friend.
Hey, you ever checked out Balfour Consumer Meat Mart on Balfour Ave and Charles Vincent Street?
No. What's so special about it?
Man, everything is fresh. I got old meat you get at some of those other stores. They have 5 different meat packages for every budget, even a 7-day Adventist package.
No, man. You say Balfour Consumer Meat Mart.
Yeah, man. Plus, fresh produce, great prices, and even items you wouldn't find anywhere else.
Yeah, man. That sounded like my type of place. Sound like Balfour Consumer Meat Mart really doing their thing.
Listen, they are clean, organized, and not staffed. Super friendly. You can even WhatsApp your order to 544-1515 or call 326-4702. And they offer free shipping to the Family Islands.
Now that's what I talking about. I have to go check them out today.
Freshness, value, and service. All waiting for you at Balfour Consumer Meat Mart.
Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center has launched an online auction website. Now you can browse, cast your bid, and win amazing items like some of these winners.
I just won this blender for $55 on BahamasLiquidation.com. I won this suitcase set for $100 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
And now it's your turn. Simply grab your laptop or smart device and log on to BahamasLiquidation.com. Once you reach the main webpage, click on the My Account option where you can go to register. After filling in the necessary information, hit register and you're good to go. Happy bidding! Please have your credit card on hand as the winning bidder is responsible to pay for the winning items within 30 minutes of the auction closing. The winner must collect the items in store within 24 hours after the auction is closed. Please note that a 3.5% service charge will be added to your winning bid amount at checkout.
I won this HP laptop for $120 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
I won this magic bullet for only $35 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
Bahamas Liquidation Auction Center,
where you say hello to goodbye.
From Cable Beach to Montague, it's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. Let me say this to you, Bahamians. Please listen carefully. Because we got some things in this country. I myself am disturbed, very much disturbed, because the children today, the kind of pressure that they're going through, and I'm going through some of this pressure, and I'm feeling the heat of it, Bahamians. I don't like it. And when I see the children today having to go through so much, I tell people all the time, a lot of things that y'all be talking about, I don't know about them. I never experienced that. Because my mother and father, hold on, caller, don't go nowhere. My mother and father took that heat off us. So a lot of things, we didn't know nothing about it. Because we were shielded from it. And so it might be difficult for me to understand some things. But this suicide thing, this is still troubling me because I just can't understand it. I'm talking to Brother Brown here. Brother Brown is trying to explain to me what's causing it, and then the doctor in Grand Bahama gave me an understanding about the frustrations and things that people are going through. I feel in the frustration.
Yeah,
it's coming on.
They ain't have no hope. They feel they don't have no hope.
Man, that is sad. Call you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Thompson.
Hey, what you say?
Well, it's good.
Hey, good day.
Listen to me. I was listening to the show, and as you were talking about fathers and sons, my son got off from work, just walked right through the door, and while he was saying that he usually do when he passed me in my chair, he rubbed my head.
Yes, sir.
And I said, how many fathers just have their children rub their head when they get?
He love you.
Come on, hey pops.
You understand?
I felt funny when y'all were just talking about it, and he just walking the same time. It's
Yes,
like y'all tell him go now.
Yes.
He's walking and rub my head, hey Bob. I said what?
Yes, that's the love.
What I want to say, but my condition with my father, I've never grown up with a father. I was acknowledged as a man-child after his wife died.
Mm-hmm.
But I had ideas that he was my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
He used to send things for me with my aunt.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. But I had an uncle, namely Andrew Ferguson. They used to call him L.I. If my mother called him for you, he used to talk on the phone voice.
Yes, sir.
He lives Sunshine Park. We live in Moore Avenue.
Yes, sir.
And he ain't driving way up there on Slack.
That's
Now, if your mom got to call me back, prepare yourself. And I don't care how long you try to go to the yard, tell he go, he wait on you.
Yes.
Say, myself, come on.
Yes.
You know, so that family thing. Then I had some big brothers. They grab you and throw you up to the, the windows with them petition.
Yeah.
They grab you and sometimes they knock one or two of the water door. Or those when they throw you to the wall.
Yes.
To the petition.
Yes.
And I was the last of the night. I had 5 other brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And everybody, see, that's what get me mad. Everybody could have beat me. Everybody's authorized to beat me. And I ain't ashamed to say this. I say this in a good way. I came out to be the worst child. But everybody's authorized to beat me. You know? But we the men, we need to step up to the plate.
No, we have to. There's no doubt.
We have to, Brother Thompson.
Yes, sir.
December 1st make 10 years since my wife died.
Okay.
And I had my brother in Grand Bahamas doing very well. Tell me, man, send your son, and then when you catch yourself, I go, send it. I say, no. His aunt was in Exuma, so he sent him Exuma and let him finish school. I say, no. My son is 21 and I can go on record. I never had to go to a school for him. I never had to go to the police station. I never. Now, he's, like I said, he's 21, so you know they go into that little stage. So you got to remind them sometimes. They play crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
Boy, I was with you. When you had me, I sacrificed buying a tennis for me just to buy a tennis for you.
Yeah.
So you could fill in with everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I get to church in the same pants, 3 and 4 and 5 Sunday, you get to church in new pants and you shirt almost every Sunday.
So no one tease him and you feel comfortable.
Yeah. But I can tell you, I ain't regretted 1 minute.
I appreciate that.
I haven't worked for 9 years, and I don't need, I could brag. I have 2 children I don't need for nothing.
God bless you.
Nothing. You know, children are so smart. They remember what you do for them when they're small enough.
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
You see a lot of people around here being punished. You asking where their children here. Their children are around here, but their children remember they never do nothing for them.
There you go.
You see?
That's
so
good.
I'm telling all these young men who listening, take care of your children, son, because time coming. The Bible tells you once a man, twice a child.
That's right.
Your time coming back.
Yes, sir.
But I can continue listening, Brother Thompson.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah,
Thank you
man.
very much. He has some valid points. And I must say, my upbringing was basically somewhat similar to that. Anyone who was a senior to you had the authority to discipline you if you stepped out of line. So we had everybody looking out for us, all right? Men and women, in the family, in the community, in the church, in the school. That is the way it was. And I said they had headmasters. They didn't call them principals in those days.
Yes,
but
sir.
just recently, as I was coming out of high school, they started the principal thing. And so the family means well. You have to have that strong family. And we were very close in those days. But as time goes on and you begin to move away from some things, you find that other things creep in. But we have some strange doctrines, some strange behavioral patterns that are sitting in our country that are eating away at the spiritual development and social development of our people.
Yes.
Mr. Bruce, I think you have that tape ready, right? Okay, go ahead, please. This is a tape from Dr. Michael Dowell about the specialty hospital that is supposed to be built off New Providence Highway. Go ahead, Mr. Producer.
Time for occupancy is somewhere between 30 to 36 months from the date of groundbreaking, and that will happen very shortly. Once these specialty services at the Princess Margaret Hospital move to the new hospital, this would make way for essential renovations in order for us to expand services, medical and surgical services at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Next week, tractors will arrive at the site to begin land preparation. Shortly after, foundation will be laid out and the work will begin leading up to the vertical construction. Mr. Deputy, during my public consultations, concerns were raised by many residents from the surrounding area that the construction of this new hospital will worsen flood conditions in the Papal Track area and the Grove area. I am pleased to report that after careful assessment, the drainage and flood mitigation report by local engineers verified that the hospital will not worsen flooding in the surrounding communities. In fact, it identified long-standing deficiencies in drainage maintenance and proposes corrective measures, including deepening and expanding drainage pools, improved canal management, and having structured maintenance of drains as part of the ongoing program.
Brother Brown, go ahead. You want to comment on that?
Yeah, and to me, right, a lot of people, feel like it is more like a government thing. I think it's a national thing. I think, like I say, I think it's a plus. Some things I might not agree with, but I do know we need a new hospital. Earlier I stated, Mr. Thompson, I'm not a professional, but I knew what the hospital needed. I told you the hospital is too congested. It is overpopulated. You hear Mr. Dowell stating now that once the new hospital starts to build, they would have space enough to do more renovation at the Princess Market Hospital. Yeah. Listen, we have been bombarded from both governments over the last 52 years, like Mr. Thompson stated. Every government supposed to know as the population grew, you're supposed to make adjustments as building a new hospital across the country as the population grew. The Bahamas population was like 100 plus, then it went to 200 plus, then it went to 250. Every time the country grows with a growth population, as more money is invested, our leaders, whether you're the Minister of Health or the government, at the same time, supposed to make preparation to deal with the volume of people coming in, the volume of people born in,
right,
and supposed to make ahead of time, like China, plans for the future to create more hospitals, No,
but you have to have plans. This is the duty of governing the country and the leaders who are given the responsibility. This is where they have a role to play in terms of managing the affairs of the country. Now, you talk about this is supposed to be a specialty hospital for men. No, not for men, for women and children. What about the men and the boys?
That's what I said again. By now, we're supposed to create something where we have something for the men and boys as well to take the pressure. We're supposed to have different categories for the male and the female. Pregnancy ward, you're talking about male surgical and stuff like that. We're supposed to have different sections, different hospitals for different.
Yes. And then people were concerned about the flooding because that area, the Powell Track and those surrounding areas, are flood-prone areas. And he's saying that they'll have these drains in place. Now, you know what these drains do. We have heard this before because we have had flooding in many other areas where they're supposed, you got Pinewood Gardens, typical example.
Yes,
they're supposed to put drains in there. Mr. Bruce, we have a call on the line? Caller, hold on a moment, please. We have these drains in place which were supposed to deal with the problem of flooding, but the problem of flooding in Pinewood Gardens, in Nassau Village, what that other new area name now? I think it's where they had the election. What's that called?
That's Golden
Isles.
Yes.
Golden Isles. They got flooding over there too.
Yes.
So the flooding has moved even in Yamacraw.
Yes.
The flooding.
Development and not proper infrastructure.
Exactly, not proper infrastructure. Let me just take this call, please. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please. Caller, you there?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Mr. Thompson.
Hey, that Papa?
Yes, sir.
I got to give you a spanking because you treat me bad, man. How you get like this?
I don't know how to get you.
Go ahead, Papa. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, sir. And Happy New Year to both of you and all the listeners and the producer.
Thank you.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes,
two of you all live in the same constituency.
Say that again?
You and your guest, you and Scrooge.
Yeah,
That's Scrooge in there?
Brother Brown is right here, and he is in Bain and Grants.
But I think we're tying together now.
But I guess they're tying it up.
I think we're tying now, but we just one corner away.
Just one
But
corner
before I
away.
say something about what the minister had to say about the new hospital, I always listen to Mr. Thompson talking about the power we have as a people in our constituency, and I know the two major political parties. I'm not sure about the COI or any other party or independent person being in this constituency, this particular, I think we call it Sanibel.
Sanibel, yeah. Let me just say, I saw my representative in Sanibel. He came specifically to where I was. He was touring all of Fort Fincastle.
He finally reached to you.
No, he got to me, yeah. But they told him, say, you got to go see Professor Thompson.
You have to. I mean, anyone who run around there, they got to go.
And he made it a point. We had some discussion on me, say, now, Professor, there's some things I don't understand. But I asked him to come on the show. And I want to have an open discussion with him so people could hear what I have to ask him and what he says to the public. And then y'all could record it on your phones and keep that till Christ comes back.
Yeah,
the point
he agree,
is...
Mr. Thompson?
Huh?
He agreed?
Well, he said he'll get back to me. That's what he told me.
That's a yes.
Okay, so I think all of them...
No, but I expect him to come on. I invited him to come on. I want to have a conversation with my representative. He's my representative.
Remember, Mr. Thompson, and everyone else, the people is the boss, and they just...
Yes, they are. Yes.
Yeah, so that'll be good if he come on, but I want to encourage all of those, even the other candidates, to try to get on Mr. Thompson's show. And go and see Mr. Thompson and go and see. See, my point I was getting at is that I always listen to Scrooge on his show and encourage him to, if he could, it'll be good if any one of those parties, work along with him in the constituency and maybe he could be the candidate for one of the parties. It doesn't matter what party it is, but I listened last night or night before last. There's a candidate, a gentleman who was working to one of the other radios, to the other station where Scrooge is normally be on Friday.
Right.
And he's the new candidate for this particular, the Free National Movement, Mr. Darwin Russell. Over the years, over the months, I don't know if you'll wear him or
Papa, don't go too fast, man. I want to hear this thing. Start over again. Start from the beginning.
Well, I was just saying, I believe what the Free National Movement did night before last with sending this candidate, and I know, Mr. Thompson, it should be who the people want. That's why I always say I try to encourage Scrooge to maybe represent his area. And I know it ain't easy, but Scrooge, he doing his part on the radio and he doing his things in the community and stuff like that. But this gentleman, Darwin Russell, I believe, if I was living in that constituency, knowing him over the months or the years, listening to him over the years, the things what he's be doing, I would have been glad to have him around there and maybe try to work. But I don't think he can make it or he's going to be successful without Scrooge or Mr. Thompson on his side. He needs to come and sit down and talk with Mr. Thompson and Scrooge, Mr. Brown, in that area if he's going to be successful. I believe any party he would have run for, he would have made a good candidate. He could do good in the area, but it leave up to the people in the constituency to make up their mind if that's something what they want to do, Scrooge. He got to come see Scrooge. He got to come talk to Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, I want to say something about with the tape which you was playing with the minister.
Yes.
Did he say anything? I tried to listen to Parliament when he was talking, but did he say anything about how they had to contract a private company about a few weeks ago? And did he say if the contractors, if everything is back in place with the morgue at Princess Margaret, they had to send the dead bodies to a private company to keep the dead bodies because the morgue was out of system. And it was not working, and I was wondering if he said anything about that dead or how they have to send to the University of the Bahamas to get this food for the patients them.
I heard about the food part.
It is Papa's trouble,
No, my point is that he talk about everything, right?
No, but he has the right.
Yeah, he's trouble though.
He talk about everything, but the Princess Margaret Hospital we have there, we need that fix. We need the morgue to be working. Huh?
Go ahead, Papa. Go ahead. I'm going to kill myself laughing, man. Go ahead.
We need the morgue to be working. We need to be able for them to cook that good food and bake that bread. Right there, what they was doing. They had this lady, Miss Lockhart. I think they call it the doctor physician or something like that. I don't know if it's a union, but she was. Many of us just feel like Princess Margaret Hospital, the situation and it's getting worse.
But she said
it's not getting better.
But Papa, she said it's the worst in 22 years.
Yes, and I wonder if they listen. And I know the Prime Minister is trying to do everything he could do. He is the Minister of Finance. It sounds like most of the stuff boiled down to money, finance, or respect, dealing with the nurses the right way, or treating them with dignity. And I believe if the Prime Minister take the time to go to Princess Margaret Hospital, he can make a difference down there, at least get the morgue working back.
He was there.
It sounds bad, but you can imagine that your loved ones, they have to go, but they sending them or had to contract a private company to keep. I mean, and they spending money and finding money for everything else. They can't fix that.
I'm not too sure about that one, but I heard about the other one, about the food thing. But the Prime Minister went to the hospital before, you know.
Well, you need to go back. Mr. Thompson, I'm not impressed with the Minister of Health.
The Minister of Health said that was Dr. Locket's opinion. That's what the Minister of Health said about her feelings about 22 years. She said this is the worst it has been in 22 years. The woman been there a long time, you know.
If I was the Prime Minister,
right on the
Minister of Finance, if I was the Prime Minister, I would have had to fire Darwell as the Minister of Health. And I would have feel bad knowing that I was the Minister of Finance and most of these things spur land the money. See, the hospital, I mean, and it's good to know the Prime Minister gang will give us a new specialty hospital, right? And I think they're doing one in Freeport. But my goodness, Rand Memorial in Freeport, Grand Bahama needs some attention. Princess Margaret needs some attention. Come on, man.
What about Exoma? Slow down. They have a specialty hospital in Grand Bahama too?
Yeah,
for women and children?
I think it's something almost like a university or college. I don't know, but they did start building something since the PLT to come in power in 2021. They had something there.
No, but
they have something over there what they doing.
Let me make sure the professor understands what you're saying. Brother Brown, are they having a specialty hospital for women and children in Grand Bahama?
No, not for women and children. It's almost like a university thing, Mr. Thompson.
Like a university, must see the train.
Yeah, I think something like that. One last thing, Mr. Thompson.
Yeah.
I wanted to find out, because I didn't get a chance to talk to you for a little while. You and Scrooge, Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
The woman, let me say it better. The lady say one bad apple don't spoil a bunch. All my life I was growing up, them old people was telling, say one old rotten apple will spoil a whole bunch.
Well, we all know that.
But the woman say one bad apple can't spoil a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And take the one bad apple out there.
Yeah.
That's the only way that can happen. Take the one bad apple out of the bunch.
So for those who don't know what we're talking about the alleged corruption on the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Listen, y'all don't agree that we need external forces to come in here to work along with upright citizens like Mr. Thompson and Mr. Brown, who could sit on a board and listen to the good officers talk about some of the things we need. You don't think politics playing too much a role? And although they saying we have a lot of good officers there, we need some help. We need external, like international help to come in. I can hang up.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Like you said, politics. Go ahead, Thompson.
It's the people that have to make a determination. What we do is we bring the facts out and put it on the table. All right. The host ought not to share an opinion, but the point is that the Minister of Health said, what Dr. Lockett had said, 22 years. This is the worst it has ever been. Now, this woman on the ground, you know, she's been working in them people's place. And the minister, all he says is that's her opinion. Is it true or false?
Well, you know, you got to defend the government. Even if it's wrong, you got to defend the government.
But is it? But
it is true. It is true. It is true. True.
So then that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, the roof leaking.
It is or it isn't. Yes. Is the dialysis unit up to date? Yes. Is it true or false? We had one particular person who is a patient there who called in on the show and told us about some things that are happening.
It is true.
There.
True.
But then the problem we have with our leaders is if you don't admit when you're wrong, you know what's going to happen?
You get worse.
You're going to keep getting wrong all the time.
Of course.
It's going to get worse. It's going to steadily get worse.
And that's exactly what's
going to happen.
And all I institute.
But now you see all these light companies we got around here. Say they providing light.
Yeah.
But maybe what happened to BEC? No one ain't telling me yet.
You know BEC no more.
They're gone.
It is BPL.
BPL and the grid, the Bahamas grid thing. And then you got a Pike. And you got some other companies.
They're private companies. They private contractors. Pike, they private contractors. They BPL, but
these others who provide electricity in the Family Island.
They private contractors.
So what happened to all the BEC assets? You mean to tell me BEC just went right out of existence? My mother, not my mother, but my father and my brother and my other brother and my nephew who's there now. You mean to tell me all that work they put into BEC just went down the drain like that? What happened to the assets of BEC?
You got to ask our leaders.
But I got to go all the way back to the beginning because I'm hearing all kinds of contracts being signed in the office of the Prime Minister for people providing electricity.
Yeah.
The island ain't get bigger, right?
Yeah.
That's as far as I know. But that's what it tells me. And then the Electricity Act says what? They're supposed to consult with the people before any decision is made by ERC is responsible for electricity.
Mr. Thompson, we all know that. We all say the Bahamian people is the boss. That is not true, man. Even though we could say that all we want, the Bahamian people not as the boss. The politicians are the boss. Once we elect them, they represent us in each community. That's why our MP could get up and say he is the representative of Centerville. Right? That means he's speaking for the whole entire voters registry, those who are not on the registry. So if it's 50,000 people live in Centerville, that one MP is the representative of that whole entire community.
No,
That's the bottom line.
That part is true. But is the particular representative, and not only just for Centerville, but for any other representative, are they consulting with the people?
No. They're making decisions of their own.
No.
They're making decisions of their own.
The people would stand up and say, I represent the good people of, and they named a particular constituency.
How many
And the people don't even know.
How many people you see when they switch side, going from the governing party to opposition, they switch side from the opposition or go to the party, and they say they speaking on the behalf, they had consulting with their whole entire community, but they only talk to nobody in their community but making the switch, and they go join that particular party. They use their own input and influence the whole entire community at their will. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm coming back to that. Mr. Bruce, we have a call on the line. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Thompson.
Hey, what you say?
Sorry about that, man. The phone click out on me. I want to say, y'all keep up the good work and stuff and hang up the right way. The phone to click out on me.
Oh,
but you know, listening to you just now, I said maybe, I don't know if Jomo could be able to make it, because if you listen to the news a couple of weeks ago or on a recording, the chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, Fred Mitchell, he sounded like he was telling them they ain't obligated to speak to no media. So I don't know if he would come on the show, but I don't think it's right for Fred Mitchell. At least I learning to expect anything from these. They never seems to amaze me or surprise me, because they're supposed to be intelligent, and he's a media person. They have an obligation, I believe, although I ain't smart like them, to speak to the media and come and sit down on the talk shows and talk to the people.
I can speak to that after the break.
Y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll speak to that after the break. This is Professor Sidney McCarter, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. We have my special guest, Mr. Valtino Brown. He's in the Payne and Grantstown area. This is Professor Sidney McCarter, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
Wake up every weekday on 99.5 FM.
This is Steve Harvey, your main man.
With a Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Steve, this is Deandra. It's planting. Thank you.
So it's planting.
Yeah, like planting. I said initially.
Oh,
Thank
like
you.
you're planting something in the backyard. Yeah, planting.
No.
That's it.
Planting is what you're talking about.
You're not
You're talking
using
about planting.
You're just saying planting. What is it? We planting something in the garden, bro.
That's planting with a G at the end.
You know how many farmers have been up my granddad saying, "Hey man, what you planting this year?" Yeah.
Weekday morning from 6 to 10.
Let's go.
Over here on
99.5 FM.
Do you have video games and consoles for sale? What about lawn and garden tools, silver or gold? At Cash Whiz, they'll give you top dollar for them right now. Absolutely nobody puts money in your pockets quicker. So why be broke? If you need money right now, check out Cash Whiz downtown Bay Street and get cash on the spot. You can also save 70% on in-store purchases, tools, electronics, watches, and jewelry. All at unbelievable prices. Cash Whiz, telephone 322-2456. Get money in your pockets now.
Stay current, stay compliant with NIB. For a limited time only, registered employers and self-employed persons can receive up to 75% off accumulated interest on their contribution arrears through NIB's Interest Arrears Waiver Program. Available now until March 31st, 2026. If your business is behind, visit your nearest NIB office or contact your inspector expected today. NIB, supporting businesses, securing the fund. Act now, comply today, grow tomorrow.
Bahamian feel-good food in the right atmosphere. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whichever you choose. It's the Cricket Club Restaurant at Haynes Point, West Bay Street. The food is off the chain. Bahamian breakfast. We talking stew cow, stew fish, and sheeptown sauce. And for lunch, crab soup, okra soup, and pea soup and dumpling. Man! And for dinner, they got mahi seafood platter or steak and shrimp. Only $28.95 per person. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the Cricket Club Restaurant. Call 326-4720 for reservations. Oh, and don't forget,
Karaoke on Thursdays.
and there's a live band, The Magic Touch, every Friday night. See you.
Insurance is too expensive. I'm young and I don't need it. All insurances are the same. Let's bust these 3 common insurance myths. First, no, insurance doesn't have to break the bank. We offer plans that fit your budget. Second, accidents don't care how old you are. An accident can happen to anyone. Third, all policies are not equal. The wrong one can leave you high and dry when you need help the most. At Harvest Insurance, we give you real info, real options, and real peace of mind. Call us at 326-808-405 or visit us at harvestinsurancebrokers.com and get the facts before you make a decision.
Whether you're shopping for Mother's Day, Father's Day, back to school, or any occasion for that matter, you are sure to find exactly what you're looking for at the Brass and Leather Shops. Great products like handbags, wallets, backpacks, luggage, belts, shoes, and more are awaiting you. Brand names at the best quality and reasonable prices. Land, Rioni, Kipling, Guess, Travel Light, Herschel, and more. Shop any of our locations. Downtown Charlotte Street, Mall at Marathon, and also the Luggage Store at Palmdale. Be sure to shop Brass and Leather Shops. You'll be glad you did.
East Street to Blue Hill Road. It's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Yeah, let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and Global Radio 99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
We're back. This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson, my special guest, Mr. Valentino Brown. Bahamians, this is the last portion of the show. I thought I was just starting. I don't know where the time went, but I'm enjoying this situation here. And let me just put my email out there. I want you who are listening to the show to support the show. Please send me your email. The State of the Nation, this is the name of the email, the State of the Nation 242@gmail.com. The State of the Nation 242@gmail.com. Please put your phone numbers on that email, and we will have my people get back to you. We need your support in terms of keeping the show on the air. We need some other things. We want to attend these rallies. We want to have some town meetings. We want to have some other things in relation to this upcoming election. So we're going to need your strong, notice what I said now, your strong financial support. A lot of you say, Professor, I like the show. You have a good show. But you got to put some good money down, Damon, so we could continue doing a good show.
This is awesome.
That's how it happens. Huh? I have to remind you about that. I say your strong financial support. That is critical at this stage in the development of our country. It takes funding to get things done. I got to be there when the man say something. I can't wait on them other fellas to say, that's what the man say. I got to have my team on the ground to record what he says, because you're going to have a lot of back and forth. This one say this, that one say that. I don't need that. We don't want to waste time with that. Let's have a discussion on the issues. Let's have a discussion on what it is you would like to see in a representative. We miss a lot of things. What about the current ones who are there now? What have they done? What are they now doing to assist the people on the ground in their particular constituencies? That's number one. Now, the big major national problems that we're confronted with in this country. The government of the Bahamas has a responsibility for that. What has the government of the Bahamas done in relation to these major national problem. Only two questions I have here. Constituency questions, and number two, national questions. And I think sometimes people get all mixed up. I'm interested in results. I'm interested in seeing that you in these constituencies have results. Your lives are improving when you send a particular personality to the House of Assembly. Okay? Because that person represents you. They tell me I can't say nothing in the House. They say that fella got to say. All right, no problem there. But then the fella got to talk to me. It is the duty of representatives to communicate with their constituents. It is the duty of the representative to communicate with the media. We want to get accurate and precise information. So we have a direct conversation with these candidates who are running. They say they want public office. Well, fine, no problem. Now I got some questions for them. And I will ask those questions. Because the people ought to know. And Bahamians, you have to question them too when they come to your house. They come into your community. They want you to support them. What do they have to offer? Because when you look at situations in this country, you see a rising tide of violence. In fact, I saw something yesterday. And these are not no Bahamians. These are strangers, foreigners, aliens, and outsiders with a very bad attitude. And the way how this particular personality was dealing with the children of that particular nationality, it is despicable. That's what we bring into the country, Bahamians. And then they want to say, there's Bahamians. Give me a break, man. Bahamians don't behave like that. We got some people in this country who are not Bahamian, never would be Bahamian, but they're purporting to be Bahamian. And then the people turn around and say they're Bahamians. Give me a break. Bahamians don't behave like that. I'm a genuine Bahamian. Came out from the British colony, the colony called Bahama Islands. Okay? And I turned my citizenship over July the 10th, 1973, to the new nation, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's the official name of this place, you know. The Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm a citizen of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Now, you got some people, and I may have discussed this tomorrow, some people who purport to be citizens, and a Bahamian citizen could lose his citizenship. Do you know that, Bahamians? Yes. When they take on the rights of citizenship in somebody else's country, coming back here talking about they're Bahamian, and they won't run, you know. They won't be represented by the one who was formerly with the University of the Bahamas, well, College of the Bahamas, now University of the Bahamas, taking on issues in a foreign country, but still saying that particular personality is Bahamian. What kind of nonsense is that? When the Constitution says you don't have duality of citizenship. Do you understand that? So you got to watch these people who come in here talk about they is Bahamian. And then the fellow one jump to the front of the line. All them people voting for nomination. Listen to this now. All them people who sacrifice with the parties, the three major parties, the PLP, the FNM, and the COI. And then this person, all of a sudden, becomes more important than the party. What kind of crap is that? This person wants to have the party dragging at that particular feet of that particular personality. I thought it was the other way around. You become a part of the party. And how long has this person been a member of that party? And what contribution have they made to that party? And even sometimes the leaders in the party, or let's say the leadership of the party, makes bad decisions. And you who are meritorious counselors and stalwart counselors and counselors, come on, man. You don't even know your job at the party level. And you sit right there. I remember Brother George Mackey used to say about people coming to the forefront and becoming representatives under the party banner, but have not contributed anything to the party. That was happening in George Mackey's time. He was the MP for Vaux Hill. Okay? And he said it publicly. And the thing is that happening today? You look at what's happening now. Examine the evidence behind it. This is a long-standing thing where some people believe they're more important than them others who were there, who built the party, Brother Brown. These are people who sacrificed. Look at Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield. Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield wanted to be PM, but he didn't have the opportunity to be PM. But he gave his blood, his sweat, and his tears to the free national movement. Dr. Minnis became the prime minister. And then, of course, Mr. Hubert Ingram became prime minister on the FNM banner. But all I'm simply saying is you have a situation where persons who haven't contributed anything, they got no skin in the game. You hear that, Brother Brown? No skin in the game.
Some people just don't have no values and no principles.
They have no values, no principles, and so all of a sudden they think now, and I'm thinking about this particular personality who is involved in another country, thinks that he should come to the top of the line. He shouldn't be in the back of the line. And all them people want a nomination. All them people too in the line.
If you get money, you basically do what you want in the country, Mr. Thompson.
Because of money?
Yeah,
and you only got one vote?
What you think? That's what you think?
Is that what it is?
Well, it makes sense to some people,
Bahamians, I couldn't give a flying crap how much money a particular personality may have in their possession. That money can't vote, He only got one vote. Now, if we are stupid enough to believe that one particular personality is worth more than all of us put together, then we are stupid. We have to be stupid.
And that's what the majority of us are as individuals, Mr. Thompson. Look around you. You don't see people walking around with candidates, a candidate there, and he have a lot of people around him. Each one of those candidates have a group of people around them, and all of them pulling chair in for this one particular personality, like you say. Take a look. But who's standing for what's right in the country? What's right in the country is we have poverty, we have crime, we have
I am glad
health issue.
Yes, we do. That's why I asked
corruption. See, you got to set aside all those factors that individual has. These are the main issue what we need to face. They understand what's wrong.
Only two campaigns. I can be campaigning on two issues: constituency issues, national issues. And I'm going to be asking the question: what major constituency problems have been solved, and what are the benefits? What major national problems have been solved, and what are the benefits, man?
The hospital still there, being solved. Unemployment is still high.
Brother Brown, just hold on a minute. I think I got one call on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Professor, I listen to your show almost on a daily basis.
Yes.
Now that there's election coming up,
yes.
Why can't the candidates, I know you advocating for them to come and speak to you, but what I would like to see them do is come and have a debate for the constituency that they are in, so that the persons in those constituencies can know what their ideas and what they are planning on doing.
That's an excellent idea.
Because coming one-on-one is the only thing they're going to do is tell a bunch of lies.
Okay. Maybe we can shift it where we can have them come out publicly in the constituency and allow the people of the... I think I love that one. That's an excellent one. Allow the people in the constituency to challenge them.
Right.
Now that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and that way persons will be able to seriously make up their mind who they really want to vote for, and not just going with the party, like you say. Because you could put any Tom, Dick, and Harry there, and they tell the person any foolishness, but let the persons in the constituency question them.
Oh yeah, I believe in that.
That's what I really think needs to happen.
No, I'm not going to disagree. I'm going to suggest that to them, because I'm going to send letters to all of them, the candidates and to the party itself, because that is an excellent idea for the constituents to have a discussion with those representatives or those candidates who want to have that seat in the House of Assembly. That's an excellent idea.
And make some money with it, Mr. Thompson.
Of course.
Because they have a lot of campaign reform money. Let them come on the show. Let them give a little something
Of course.
to the show. Don't let them just come off here because they have campaign reforms.
No, we can tell them what they we can let them know what they got to pay.
Yes, sir. That makes sense.
Right.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Not free now. It's election time.
No, this is
You got to
election
the
time.
Thompson, the station got to make money.
Of course.
All right.
No, thank you,
Okay.
Paula. That's an excellent comment. I'm going to put that in letter and send that to the
Jumbo Campbell.
I can send it to all
Coalition
of
of
them.
Independence.
All of them.
And the Free National Movement.
All of them.
Yes.
That's an excellent idea, what he said. The constituents talking directly to the candidate. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, and you hold their feet to the fire because now you've been complaining for 52 years now. When you open with poison,
Now, you know,
hold their feet to the fire.
I got some questions for them too. That's different from what them other people got questions for them.
Because I noticed a lot of poisons. Let me add on this.
Yes.
I used to work directly with Perry Christie. I work with a lot of politicians. So a lot of people used to say bad things about Mr. Christie. Oh, he doing this and that. So they said, oh yeah, boy, if I see Mr. Christie, I'll say this and I'll say that. Now I know I was outspoken poison. So now I bring Mr. Christie around to these individuals. You can't even hear a pin drop. All oh, that's Mr. Christie. Hey, good day, Mr. Christie. I hope that don't be you, Mr. Thompson. You're hard mode now, but when you get these guys in the studio, you go soft. But I understand. What do you put in your leg?
No, I understand that, and that's fine. That's
Yes,
fine.
yes.
But the same way I am on air,
Yes.
I'll be the same way
Yes.
in a public meeting.
52
I'm not
years.
changing for that.
Yes, yes.
Because the evidence is there.
Yes, 52 years.
Okay? The evidence of what a government has done in this country over the last 52 years, going on 53 years, as the governing authority in this country, the evidence is wide open for everybody to see.
And the development could have been so great in your community. Those steps that laid down from enforcement castle could be
All
steps.
four of them all broke up.
There could be steps where you have guardrails and people
Ain't
set
no
up their small
guardrail, ain't
stores.
nothing.
And people
No
set their
proper
small
lighting or
stores.
anything like that.
Lights could be down to keep people down in
Well,
the
I
shops
told-
and etc.
I told my
They're
representative.
turning into a complete tourism industry right up in that community from enforcement castle.
You had this man who was the prime minister,
Yeah, it ain't make no sense.
and nothing happened to those steps.
You know
4
why?
sets of steps.
You know why? The Bahamas were created. They have a clip playing about the Bahamas on Bay Street. They show you that the Bahamian people got together, different ideas, like you talked about earlier,
Yes.
and they created baskets. They created artifacts where you could do woodwork, carving, who could do fire dance and stuff
Yes.
like that. And they created small businesses downtown, and that's what helped create it. Small businesses were able to send their children to school, and that started from a collective of people back in the 1900s who
Yes.
decided to come together as a team. And then Edmund Moxie came along and started Jumbo
Yes.
Village down there.
Right.
But that's it started. It started from Bahamians, collective Bahamians, poor Bahamians, worked together, helped started Bay Street, and
That's-
started their small businesses and became
Yes.
successful. The same thing needs to happen.
The same
over
needs to
there.
happen over the hill.
Small
Yes.
business development.
Yes.
And grants.
Yes.
Needs to happen in our inner city community.
That is true. That is quite
know?
true. And that has to happen. The people on the ground
Should be involved.
need to be involved in terms of changing the face of those constituencies. That has not been happening in 52 years.
Because more people we get in power. If we create some thousandaires and hundredaires and millionaires in the
Oh, yes.
community,
That
a
would be
lot will
good.
change.
A lot would
Because
change.
one person again can make a change. Just like how, like you say, one bad apple can spoil a bunch, which
You
I
gotta
totally agree.
You got to take the bad apple
Right.
out of the bunch.
And I guarantee you, if a few people were able to become millionaires in this inner city community and they are dedicated to seeing the area
Yes.
develop, we see changes because you start small, but you become successful. You start a lot of small business in those communities. You take away some of the market from the Chinese because the Chinese has everything in it. They have grocery store, they have liquor store, they have pharmacy. But so if we have those separated in the community, with a wide
But you
range
got
of people,
some of them, they got one building and they got 3 different,
Of course.
4, 5 different stores in that one building, right? And they're operating side by side.
and they get a volume of people come to them who spending
Exactly.
25 cents, $10, $5, and all together they
That's
become
right.
millionaires. Even though the area is poor, but a collective people who are poor coming because they have attraction, they're coming to you. The Chinese draw you, so they
Yes.
collect millions Why
Yes, they
we
do.
can't do the same thing
They
again
can
like
do
how
the
we
same
used to
thing.
do long time ago
Long
with
time
small
ago.
business, tailor
You're
shop,
quite right.
barber shop, bakeries,
Yes.
cosmetology shop.
Yes.
It could be anything that you created with your hands that you could come up with an idea. You might want to sell boxes, you might want to sell electronics, you might want to sell TV,
Right.
you might want to do all this stuff. These can
That's right.
happen. And this is what we got to reinvent
And
back in the
Bahamians-
country.
The Bahamians have to realize that money could stay to promote and to change the face of that community.
And a lot of people will change, Mr. Thompson.
Of course they will.
A lot of people change their ways because now they have something to live for. They have a revenue coming in where they can deal with their bills. They could run away from the stress and struggles, could
Yeah,
travel,
we need to get rid of
could
that
get away
stress.
from a abusive boyfriend or get away
Right.
from abusive husband or wife. You know,
Yes.
you can do this now because you have your own personal money. You know, you
You
can
have your
go
own
and go rent your
to
place.
do
You can
it.
live with
Yes.
this place now that
Yes, you can.
You can now because you have a good income. And
Yes.
that's what we need. We need people to be empowered. Unless our MPs are willing to do this, then we're
Yes.
going to be stuck in this bubble. Empowerment is key, Mr. Thompson.
No, I
Empower
agree.
the people in the community. We create thousandaires. First, we create hundredaires, thousandaires, and millionaires. Some are going to be millionaires. Some are going to be thousandaires. And if we teach them the right way on how to lift their brothers and sisters up,
Yes.
after you become successful, what you learn in the community, and you give back, and you create the next 10, and that 10 will create 20. And this way, say one good apple can create a bunch of good apples.
Of
Yes,
course.
that's
That's the positive thing. You see it right on the tree.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
It's the rotten apples.
yes,
You keep them on the tree,
Yes.
they're gonna rotten the other apples.
yes.
So
That's-
you got to remove the infection
and put some
out
good apples.
and put some good apples.
And
in
it
there.
would spread, and the fruit would be fruitful, and it would spread on to other people.
Very
That
much so.
mindset, and we'd have a better bombers and all these in the city.
The lines are open 326-0272, 813-0271. That's an excellent call from that caller. And Bahamians, I'm going to be calling on you to put it into practice because I have said to you, send me that email, the state of the nation, 242@gmail.com. And please put your phone numbers on the email. Let's get it going, Bahamians, because we have a nation to save. This country is in serious trouble.
Yeah.
Very serious trouble. We have lost too many people already.
Yes.
We got to save the men. We got to save, well, the women. You know, the Bible says 7 to 1 man.
Yes.
Man, that ain't too wholesome, you know.
It must be 10 now.
It
Because
might be 50.
because men ain't men nowadays, and
No,
female
then-
ain't
but
female
now
now.
That's another problem again.
We got a sexual this thing now. We get woman to woman,
all
and
mixed up.
man, we all mixed right up, man.
You know, our Constitution says any woman, but then this particular personality purporting to be any woman. I say we got to protect the Constitution when it says the definition of woman. What is a woman?
Right.
We got to define that. What is a man? What is a child? What is a woman?
So how the police supposed to distinguish when they pull over a car with a female dressed in a particular man? She look like a male. So what the police supposed to do?
What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to tell her strip naked and so we can see who you are? Is that what he's supposed to do?
So
because Brother Brown, they don't even know.
They don't know because so much
Huh?
female, and we're not being
All kind of
disrespectful.
funny thing. But no, you're not. You were speaking facts
And that's
as
what our
they
society
are,
is.
man.
Yeah. And these guys are shooting now. I call them niggas.
I fear for my great grand that I have.
Yes.
The kind of environment they're growing up in. And I say to the parents, man, we got to protect these
So
children.
you think you ain't gonna be seeing the family while you and your mom, with your mother and father had with their 9 children? You afraid that they're not gonna see that?
What I'm afraid of is the fact that we do not have strong parenting. We have moved away from hardcore Christian values. We always had the Holy Bible.
Yeah.
Okay? So there was never a time when we were a colony, we had the Holy Bible. When we became a nation, we had the Holy Bible. Many nations, even they got the Bible translated into their language. And some of them are just getting it. They may get one in the New Testament. But we had Old Testament and New Testament all the time. So why are we so backward? Why are we taking all this crap from these different people, man? Famous, let's get this nation together. Don't forget to send me that email, the State of the Nation, 242, the T-H-E, state, S-T-A-T-E, of, O-F, T-H-E, the nation, N-A-T-I-O-N. That's the Bell Nation, right? I got to get this thing right, you know.
Yes, sir.
I want these people to get serious. Nation at Gmail, no, the State of the Nation, 242 at gmail.com. That's the email address, put your phone numbers on them, and I'll get back to you. This is Professor Sidney. Brother Brown, you have a last point?
Thanks, everyone, for listening to Global 99.5. It was wonderful to talk to you guys. I hope you was entertained and like the show be up. It's all about helping the Bahamian people, teaching them on what we need to do in the country and guide them in the right way and just giving influence. And you can also help yourself by making the right decisions, okay? By doing the right thing. Always make the right choice in life, okay? And thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Tomorrow, of course, is Open Line Friday. We'll have Open Line Friday. Brother Hyler should be here, Open Line Friday. And I might have another special guest on at that particular time. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson, our Bahamians. Let's get serious. We got plenty work to do. So you make sure to send me that email, the State of the Nation 242@gmail.com. Put your phone numbers on it so we can get back to you. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. I'll see you again tomorrow, God willing, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Have a pleasant afternoon. Pray for the nation, man. Pray for the nation. We need some righteous people around here, Brother Brown. Okay, this is Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. Have a pleasant afternoon.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.